among others, as well as every subfield of education. Although our field of practice is adult education, and therefore there are many examples from education and adult education, we have made an effort to bring in examples from a variety of fields of practice. Certainly the design and implementation of a qualitative study is the same across these fields. Another defining characteristic of this book is its how-to practical focus, wherein the mechanics of conducting a qualitative study are presented in a simple, straightforward manner. Designing a qualitative study, collecting and analyzing data, and writing the research report are topics logically presented and liberally illustrated to assist the new researcher desiring some guidance in the process. The revisions in these chapters have greatly benefited from our having access to nearly a decade of additional resources published since the third edition. Our own research, our supervision of dozens of qualitative dissertations, and in particular, Sharon's conducting certificate programs in qualitative research methods in South Africa, Singapore, Malaysia, and South Korea. From these hands-on workshops have come techniques, resources, and strategies for assisting learners in understanding and conducting qualitative research. Thus, for this fourth edition, we draw upon recent literature in the field, as well as our own experiences with qualitative research. The intended audience for this book, then, are practitioners and graduate students in applied fields of practice who are interested in a basic understanding of how to design and conduct a qualitative study. Overview of the contents. The organization of this text reflects the process of conducting a qualitative research investigation. Part 1 contains 4 chapters. The first is on the nature of qualitative research. The second covers several common types of qualitative research, and the third presents other designs in which qualitative methods constitute a major part of the methodology. The fourth explains the procedure for designing a qualitative study, from identifying a gap in the knowledge base to forming a problem statement framed by the relevant literature, to selecting the particular qualitative design most appropriate for your question, to selecting a sample. Part 2 consists of 3 chapters that detail data collection techniques. The 3 chapters in Part 3 deal with analyzing the data collected, handling concerns about reliability, validity, and ethics, and writing the final report. We have also included in an appendix a qualitative methodology template, created for graduate students who are designing a qualitative thesis or dissertation. Chapter 1 positions qualitative research within research in general, discusses the roots of qualitative research in sociology and anthropology, and briefly describes early contributions in the development of qualitative research as a field itself. Next, the chapter reviews the philosophical, epistemological underpinnings of qualitative research as it contrasts with positivist or quantitative, critical, and postmodern research traditions. Drawing from its philosophical foundations, the chapter defines and then presents the characteristics of qualitative research. It closes with a discussion of the investigator characteristics and skills needed to conduct a qualitative study. Writers have organized the variety of types of qualitative studies into various traditions or approaches. Chapter 2 reviews 6 of the more common types of qualitative studies found across applied fields of practice. The first type discussed is what we call a basic qualitative research study. This is by far the most common type of qualitative study found in education, and most likely in other fields of practice. Other texts on qualitative research often fail to address the fact that you can conduct a qualitative study without its being a particular type of qualitative study, such as a phenomenological study, a narrative inquiry, and so on. Other types of qualitative research share all the characteristics of a basic qualitative study, but have an additional dimension. Other types and their unique characteristics discussed in this chapter are phenomenology, grounded theory, ethnography, narrative analysis, and qualitative case study research. Chapter 3 presents several more recent and increasingly more common types of research that have a major qualitative methods component, and have contributed to expanding the qualitative paradigm in the past decade. These include mixed method designs that make use of both qualitative and quantitative methods.